Hey,
Cool.
family.
Yes.
Buenos dias. Tuning in with my sister, my dragon sister, Treneti, here today. We're super
What's up?
excited to just be here with y'all and share. I'm tuning in from the Chiripo Mountains in Costa Rica. Where are you tuning in from, Trin?
Santa Rosa, California.
Perfect. So, it's a blessing. We get to be on these different grid points on the planet and still connect and vibe with y'all wherever you are on this beautiful earth. If you want to pop in the chat where y'all are tuning in from, we'd love to just feel into the earth grid and see where y'all are coming from. hmm Yeah, so Trineti is just one of my dearest sisters, and we've definitely known each other for some years now and beyond this
hmm
lifetime to many lifetimes before. And Trineti is just one of my dearest sisters. And we've collaborated, we've done light language workshops before, we've recorded together. And so really like yeah, our connection and our sisterhood has really been woven through music, through artistry, and through voice
hmm
empowerment. And so, yeah, just like excited to weave these threads that have woven us together, through our all of our co-creations and connections.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
It's been a beautiful journey of co-expansion and just witnessing each other. And
Right.
I remember our first light language transmission workshops, and we
Yes.
even took our first vocal activation clients together and worked with
Yeah,
people
so true.
together. It was like such a beautiful way that we started, and now we've like evolved and
Mm.
have like our unique signature of the way that we hold that portal open for vocal empowerment. And
Mm.
it's so beautiful, and any and every time we get to be in the physical together, something amazing is born
Mm.
from the muse through our co-creation, be it a physical space that we sing together for others, or our last co-creation being Prayers for Rain and
Yeah.
Crystal Mind on the Horizonous EP, and Prayers for Rain, which is just this beautiful single. If you haven't heard it already, it has its own life force. It's coming up on 7K streams on SoundCloud from all over the
Hey.
world. It just broke the 1K mark on Spotify, and it resonates with souls all over the planet. It's one of those
Mm.
eternal songs, and I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to co-weave that prayer with you and Ellison
Yes.
during one of like it was
Yeah.
a very intense time on the West Coast
Yeah,
with
with the
all the
fires.
fires. Yeah, yeah.
hmm Yeah, it was such a powerful moment of, yeah, that we just happened to be together and that inspiration to come through of like, okay, yeah, we have the power, because sound, right? Like, and prayer has the power to transform and alchemize
Mm-hmm.
anything. It's like the most powerful way to
Mm-hmm.
bless, the collective
Mm-hmm.
consciousness. And it was such and yeah, I can still feel the power of that prayer and of the sound waves that we co-weave together, and how it's like
Yeah.
continuing to, like you said, evolve and take shape and expand.
Yeah, it has its own little life force.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm just really like excited for all that you are birthing and all that you are just, yeah, birthing and creating right now in this beautiful new release of your album, The Fertile Nile, which I'm super excited about. I took a listen. I've listened to it a few times actually, and I like every
Yay.
time I receive the codes and like new things that come through. And so it's super powerful, and just like really excited to just, yeah, share about it, and just, yeah, like celebrating this new expansion of your artistry that's coming through really powerfully.
Thank you. Yeah, I am so happy and excited and just incredibly grateful to be at this point on my creative journey as an artist. And
Mm,
thank you for holding the space for the music to connect with your tribe, because I
yes.
know that your tribe is going to understand this
Mm,
music on like a very full level. Like they're going to be able to receive this music very deeply and comprehend the multidimensionality of the coding,
yes.
of the
Yes.
frequencies that are present, of the just the vibrational resonance that is present, of the lyrical composition that is present in each song. And yeah, it's an honor to be able to have ears of understanding hear the
Mm,
music. Mhm.
absolutely. And yeah, like you just bring so much intention and like true healing sound frequencies woven in to the music, and that is really powerful. And I know that you just really bring so much integrity as you know create the songs. And so I'd love to just hear a little bit more about like yeah, like why that's really important to you of that integrity and of you know bringing so much intention in really creating these songs.
Your tapestry is going down.
I know. Maybe we can fix it real quick.
Yeah. So I'll answer while you're fixing your tapestry. But yeah, so my journey of unlocking my voice and my journey of stepping into my truth were synonymous. And I had a very powerful mushroom journey very at the beginning of my inception of understanding that, I was a professional dancer from 11 to 27 years old. Like music wasn't really something that I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. Like I wasn't focused on it from a kid. It was like kind of like a blind spot for me. I could barely even like speak for a point in my life. My throat was so restricted. So the only way I could express myself was through my movement. So it was like a total blind spot.
Mm,
But I accomplished everything that was I wanted to accomplish with dance to a certain extent. And I started to feel like there was more to be expressed that I couldn't express just through that form. And I
mm,
started to not feel so connected to performing. And I was like, performing with Elanerio and with Polish
yes.
Ambassador and with Kalia Santilla and all these people,
Mm,
like, doing
mm,
it or whatever. And
mm,
I was like,
mm, mm,
I don't feel heard. I like had, this other life as a concert dancer in the professional modern art world. And as a choreographer, there was this frustration of like always looking for the music to be able to get my vision through, but then like not finding it. It didn't
mm,
exist. Right. And
yes.
so around the beginning of my Saturn return, I started to feel very empty with just dance. And I had this mushroom journey
Mm,
in Malibu Canyon, actually, this
mm,
really powerful sacred oak tree. And
mm,
the message that was coming through was that, like, I was supposed to sing and I was supposed to speak. And but that I would only be able to sing truth. And
mm.
that is why integrity is so crucial in my creative legacy, because I'm not trained. And then when I try to go that path of learning, I can like read music a little bit now and like do scales and stuff now. But at the very beginning, that wasn't what could unlock it. I had to clear the
Mm,
trauma that was
mm,
on my voice. And the
mm.
trauma was all connected to all the things that are not me, all the things that, were repressing the true me from coming through. And even now, like when I sing, if I'm in a dissonant space, I can't sing.
Mm.
My voice sounds like trash. If I'm allowing something to happen in my life that isn't resonant with my highest octave of existence, I can't sing. I can't hear the muse. I can't. So there's like this beautiful gift of this
Mm.
block that does not allow me to
Wow.
transmit things that are not true. Like
Mm.
I
Mm.
have one of those kind of cellular bodies where if something is dissonant or inverted around me,
Mm.
my physical body hurts. Like I literally,
Wow.
my stomach hurts, my spleen hurts. when there's something going on around me that's out of integrity, and I have to speak up. At this point, I have to, because I know what happens when I don't. Earlier in my 20s,
Mm.
it was easier for me to negate myself, be out of trying not to like shake up the scene or whatever, and trying to
Yes.
appease to other people. And what would happen is I was just dumping buckets of water into my solar plexus. And I mean,
Mm.
Shakti, you witnessed this. Like, it got so bad to the point where I ended up in a very toxic relationship and kind of
Yes.
disconnected from myself. And that was a beautiful lesson that taught me to never, ever, ever waver in that way again. And that's one of the most powerful things that I teach in voice activation work, is just tapping
Yes.
into that true space. So
Yes.
for me, I don't sing things that are not coming directly through the muse channel. I don't sing about concepts that I'm not living. I don't
Mm.
preach anything that I'm not practicing. I
Mm.
don't give any advice that I haven't had lived experience on. I'm not like a person that operates from that. I'm not a textbook person. And so that's, I think, where the potency in the music comes from, because it's an entire alchemical journey. It's like a creating a spagyric of sound, if
Mm.
you will, and then you
Mm.
work with that song, and it's medicine. It's medicine for me first, and then because I integrate that medicine, it's powerful for the listener.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And I just, yeah, fully like honor your alchemical journey, of like, of everything, just from your journey of like really coming into your voice and into your music and into your power, and really like clearing your channel of like, what is really real, and having
Mm-hmm.
these experiences, of being surrounded in distorted environments, or maybe like, just not fully honoring and like valuing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to like really come into
Mm-hmm.
this point now where it's like, no, like I need, like, it's no other choice,
Yeah, it's non-negotiable.
yeah, to honor my truth, and like
Mm-hmm.
really, and your eyes and like your vision, like your third eye vision is just so clear. And I just really feel that from you, and like just honor you for your courage, to really honor your truth, because it takes a lot of courage to just be like, yes, like this is my path, and this is my
Mm-hmm.
truth, and I'm going to follow it completely and embody what I teach, and just
Mm-hmm.
really embody integrity in every area of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I really see you carving this new path, which is, it's your own and it's new. And so it's like, yeah, it's really just powerful of like carving that new trail, almost like up the mountain, that not a lot
Yeah.
of people choose to, that Capricorn energy
Yeah,
of the mountain.
not a lot of people are as crazy as a Capricorn.
Yes.
When we find each other,
Yes.
we're so grateful.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that's where the term regenerative artist came from, and
Yes.
I know we kind of started touching on that before
Totally.
the IG live connection broke down,
Yes.
but I had to come up with I had to really sit with myself and what is this, because it is different, and I was having this like
Mm.
cognitive dissonance of trying to explain what I do, and trying and like being like,
Yeah.
okay, there's no genre that actually like musically encapsulates me. Like I listen to so many different styles of music, and I'm influenced by so many different artists all over the spectrum, from like, I'm from Chicago, so there's this deep house drum
Mm.
and bass, jungle drum and
Yes.
bass roots in me.
Yes.
There's this soul gospel,
Mm.
ancestral, there's this like ancient nomadic gypsy melodies that come through my like piano and synth playing, and then there's like these more experimental etheric kind of influences like Bjork, Radiohead style. So my music is like this coalesce of all of these things, but it is
Mm.
none of those things at the same time. It is all of that and none of that, because
Yes.
it's still, I'm like infusing these other things in these planetary frequencies and these healing frequencies, and not just
Mm.
there's a difference between someone making like a prayer song, so it's the intention of this
Yes.
healing frequencies being there, and that's beautiful and powerful and potent. And then like my approach is more like the scientist. It's like, now I'm going to actually tune my synthesizer to this frequency and play it in that
Mm,
frequency, and that
mm.
frequency is going to be in there. Like, no, this is actually Venus. Like,
Yes.
like, this is actually Saturn.
Absolutely.
So it's
Yes.
just a different approach. It's like like a very like hermetic alchemical
Mm,
approach
mm.
to weaving sound. And the concept of regenerative art, and I now
Yes.
have a regenerative art production company with all of the creators. So if you
Mm,
guys have seen any of my music videos, my album
mm,
artwork,
mm.
all of that, I've made company with my creative team. And you can check it out at soulforresonance.com if you're curious. And it's a regenerative arts company, production company. And the concept of regenerative art is art that nourishes. So with regenerative music, like
Mhm.
I would put you in that category, Shakti. I would put Elson in that category. I would put a lot of our sisters and like brothers who are creating this very intentional sound, not in like just the category of visionary art, because visionary, just to show a vision can be an illusion. A vision can be disconnected from the truth. Transformational art or conscious art, it can be using all the keywords and saying that it's one way. And I know
Mm.
we've all had an experience where you've met an artist and you think they're so on point, and then they're doing really dark things and there's really inverted
Yes.
codes behind the scenes. So to hold ourselves
Mhm.
into those old words, which they had their time, is to mix our energy in with something that we are not, and the regenerative point is like, it's this deep, it's nourishment. It's very like
Mm.
the music nourishes, the art nourishes the creator is healing through the process of creating the music, not trying to be anything, not trying to match a trend, but in this conversation with God through
Mm.
the creative process. This is our closest uh, ability to understand what God is like,
Mm.
the act
Mm.
of creation. We don't have anything else
Mm.
to really understand it. All we know for sure is that we were created. That's
Mm.
all we know. And so everything else is just like a mythos, it's storytelling. It's like, oh, maybe we were like this, maybe God is like this, maybe God is vengeful, maybe God is graceful, maybe God is loving, maybe God is everything,
Mm.
maybe God has demigods, maybe God has one God. Like, all of this is mental projection. But one thing that we do know is that God creates life. And sometimes you have to tabula rasa, you have to clean slate, you have to destroy the creation,
Mm.
like a volcano erupting. And from
Yes.
that destruction comes new fertility, which births new life. So that's what we know for sure is creation. And I
Mm.
think I figured this out pretty young, that
Yes.
was the best path for me to get to know myself and to get to know God better.
Mm.
And that type of art is created in this reciprocity of like, speak to me, like through the muse, speak to me, God, speak to
Mm.
me, teach me about
Mm.
creation. And so then
Yes.
it heals and it nourishes the self. And then when you're creating it very mindfully, for me, music is supposed, I'm very much a proponent of choice. So you'll
Mm.
notice in my music, you have options. You can dance or you can meditate.
Mm.
You can do your journaling to it, or you can
Mm.
like, really actively listen to the lyrics and take that in. I leave a lot of space for people to hear
Mm.
themselves. And
Wow.
um that's so that it can nourish. And I use a
Wow.
lot of sub bass frequencies so that your body is really like brought in to the music, so it's moving through your vessel very
Wow.
deeply. Those are more physical frequencies. Bass frequencies are more physical. The
Yes.
higher note instruments are more etheric frequencies. And you can think about that through like the highest vibrating sounds are invisible, can't see them at all. The lowest vibrating sounds are dense. That's what we are, physical
Mm-hmm.
rocks. So
Yes.
in our best ability with music, we can uh, tune the body into those different spaces with those different
Mm.
types of sound waves. And when the music
Yes.
is nourishing to the creator, the creator is developing and growing through that, then it is, as within, so without, as above, so below. It is automatically going to unlock those portals in the resonant field for those who listen, because this is a collective journey. We're all on the hero's journey together. So that's where regenerative arts come from, and regenerative artists is that focus. Yeah.
Wow. So powerful, Treneti. Thank you so much. And wow, you just touched on so many potent, deep, deep things in there. And I'm just like taking it in. And I just honor your devotion to creation, and to God, to the divine, and really like listening to what is channeling, what is being created through you, through your connection to the divine, through your connection to your own soul essence. And I love how like you also just really, it's like a spaciousness of really holding that space for us to feel our own sovereign connection to the divine, feel our own connection to God, feel our own connection to truth. And that is just so valuable to like really have the space, like in a musical transmission and atmosphere and environment, to really feel ourselves. Because like a lot of the time, like there are frequencies in music where it's like very like agenda based, or like it's hard to like feel ourselves. And I've noticed myself where I'm like, I definitely cannot listen to any of that because I can't feel myself. And so I feel like that's just super valuable, of like, yes, like there's space for me to be in whatever expression, is coming through in this moment. And like, I can really feel my truth, resonating.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really what it's all about for me. Because, as an artist in this time, independent, sovereign based, and also creating something completely new and different, it's a redwood path. You don't know when or how many people are going to catch on to what you're doing. And so it's really important to make sure that what you're doing for you first and foremost, and as a practice of healing and self-love, and that everything else is like a cherry on top. It's a surplus. It's like, oh, thank God. Like, oh, people like it. People love it. It's healing. It's helping. Beautiful, and creating from that space, because it's so easy to get caught up or to stop, because you're not getting that immediate receptivity that you think that you should be getting, because you see other artists getting it. And there's a lot of reasons why different artists, first of all, you don't know like how long they've been working their butts off before they actually had that breakthrough moment. Second of all, it's when you jump straight into a genre, a very specific genre that's already established, it's a very vine-like path. And you'll be trending as long as that genre is trending. But as soon as that genre dies, you do too. Or if you decide to pivot, then your audience isn't going to like you anymore, because they were never there for you. They were there for you doing the thing that they like. Right. Yes. And I feel like I always was aware of that, especially by having toured with several artists as a dancer, and kind of gotten to witness the different path you can take. And my favorite musicians are ones that evolve, and I look forward to being like, what's you're going to do next? Like, I know each project is going to be different, that diversity of sound, but the one thing that is the continuity is the presence of the soul. So when you really lead with your soul, you can do like, Psalms of Saturn is more of like avant-garde jazz, alt rock album. And like Her Is This has got this like hip-hop, alternative hip-hop vibe. And A Fertile Nile, the new album, it's like its whole own kind of like multi-dimensional thing. And like I'm writing other songs right now that I'm gonna take my time on, that are gonna be like, I'm gonna put out an alt rock album because I feel like it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And like that's really like to me, that's the path. And to have your listeners showing up for your soul, not for like just one specific dimension of you.
Yes, Ashe. Well, I would love to just hear more about how people can receive your new upcoming album, The Fertile Nile. And yeah, just like would love to hear you speak a little bit more about like really valuing music as we're, going
Yeah.
down this thread of valuing yourself as an artist, right? And your own
Mm-hmm.
unique path. And yeah, I would love to just hear more about the album
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. So the album is going to drop December 9th. I am in Santa Rosa right now because I'm recording the final vocals and mixing my album on analog board. I self-produce, which I'm very
Mm,
proud of. I've
mm,
been searching for other African American female music producers.
yes.
And at this point, I've only found one.
Mm,
Her name's Chima Wave. She's really awesome,
okay.
from Vancouver, Canada. And there's just not that, which just means there's really not many of us. And so it's pretty prolific to be
Mm,
doing that and to hold that space as a vocalist too. A lot of vocalists
yes.
are dependent on others holding that space, which not to say there's
Yes.
anything wrong with that, because being an engineer and being a producer is a whole different
Yes.
thing. And like, it's not for
Yes.
everybody. And I'm really stoked to be able to hold that space for my sisters, because it's not
Mm.
for everybody, but I love it because I've always been a math nerd. But but the album, it's dropping on December 9th. Pre-orders for the album are available right now at treneti.com. When you
Okay.
go there, it's the first thing that will pop up on the page.
Perfect.
Pre-order A Fertile Nile. By
Yes.
doing that, you're helping me make sure that I can
Mm.
get the music to other listeners.
Mm.
And you're also helping me sustain my life as a professional artist. This is not a hobby, this is my career. And so that
Yes.
direct support, if you want more music to continue to happen, support the art directly
Mm.
with financial energy, because this is my job. Like, to
Mm.
work on a single song, that could take me anywhere from 20
Yes.
to 40 plus hours just for one song to
Mm.
come all the way to fruition. Like that,
Yes.
and that's being really like nice about thinking of the hours that it takes to go into this process, and the financial
Mm.
expenses, the expenses that it takes
Yes.
to self-produce, to have the right gear, to pay for the mastering, to pay for the distribution, to pay for like just all of the different things, the virtual digital things that you need to hold the space for the sounds. It's just like it's expensive to be in this
Mm.
path.
Yes.
And um streaming is great, but you're supporting Spotify or Apple Music
Right.
or SoundCloud doesn't even pay royalties. Like, you're supporting them more than you're supporting the artist. Like, we make
Mm.
like fractions of a cent on every stream. You have to get somewhere in like around 1 million streams to even make like 3K off of like your song. Like 1 million. So for an
Mm.
independent artist, for you to just stream their music, you're really kind of like, it's great. You're helping their algorithm, and I say do both. Like, stream on your phone, because like, who wants huge WAV files on their phone, right? Taking up data space. But go and see what our offers are. And if you go to my website right now, you can purchase A Fertile Nile. And I am also recoding what the price point for purchasing music is. You'll notice all my singles are $8.88, because I like the number eight. Treneti numerologically is an eight.
Yes.
Eight is abundance. You'll see my album
Yes.
starting at $88. Why? Because
Yes.
money is not the same. And to give an artist 99 cents
Mm.
for their song, and then the Stripe credit card processing fee takes out 2
Right.
point whatever percent, 2.7% plus
Yeah.
like 3%, whatever they do, plus 30 cents. So you're giving them like a 50 cent. 50 cent. Like people are not thinking about these things. Like, you're giving a person 50 cent for something that they may have invested $10 or $20,000 in
Yes.
like expenses and time to do,
Mm. Mm.
in an economy where the value of the fiat US dollar is just diminishing by the moment. $10 in US quarters, like if it's a quarter that was minted before 1965, that though $10 in US quarters is worth $100 in US fiat right now.
Mm.
So these are things that people don't think about, and they're not like, even a lot of people don't even know this. This is probably brand new information to a lot of people.
Yes.
But like the value of the dollar is not the same. This is why inflation is occurring. This is why the price of rent is going up. This is why the price of food is going up. This is what has happened in other countries. Like you may notice in Costa Rica, the numbers of the prices of things are very ridiculous. Well, that's inflation. It didn't start that way. And these are things that we have to be aware of when we are participating in voting with what we value, because what we spend our money on is a vote on what we value. So when you treat an independent artist the same way that you treat Cardi B or Beyonce or somebody who, like, yeah, just streaming them, but they have all of these record labels like pushing ads and all this stuff and all these sponsors and all these things going on. So just streaming them, like, yeah, whatever. They have all this other stuff going on. But when that's the only way you support an independent artist, it's not the same thing. It's just not. And so that direct connection and giving an artist something upward $88 for an album, that's way more supportive of that artist being able to pay their rent, pay their team. Like this is not like, making music is not a solo endeavor. Like there's a whole team. Like if you go to my page at Treneti Music, you'll see all of these beautiful videos, all of these beautiful high level photography that cost me thousands and thousands of dollars to do. Like we are just now coming up on completion for the You Choose music video, my first animated 3D animation music video. That work is very expensive. It took a year to do it. And for us to be able to do more of that, there has to be funding, there has to be support. So if you love the art, and this is, I'm not even just speaking for myself, I'm speaking for all artists that you love. If you love us truly, go to our websites, support us directly, sign up for our subscriptions. Like I have a subscription platform on my site, Love Tribe. You can go and subscribe 5, 15, whatever, however much you want to give a month. That's helpful. Like support us directly, read our comments, read our captions. Like at the very least, read the damn captions and see what we're asking. Because like there's this short attention span, this like instant consciousness, and we're like it's harmful. Like we say we care about each other, but when we don't actually take time to dive in to see what each other is actually saying and to listen deeply, like it's not really connecting. It's hypothetically connecting. And so that's why, you know, it's a bold move to take this type of stance with my music and be like, you know, yeah, okay, like you have two options. You can be like a passive fan, a passive listener, and just like my pictures and stream when you can and be passive. And if you don't have money, that I'm not like trying to shame anyone. Like if you don't have money and you want to support an artist that you love, like share, tell somebody that you know that will love it, send their music to them, send their website to them, like just put it in your story. It's 2 thumb clicks. Like put this video in your story, share. Then that's helping. You want to support deeper and you don't have money, play the song on repeat for hours. I do that when I find a song by an artist that I really love, and if I'm not in a position where I can go and like buy some merch or whatever I can get from to help them directly or sign up and become a patron or whatever, I will stream that stuff. Even if I'm not listening to it, I'll just start streaming it, like throw my phone aside. I'm going to give this artist like 100, 200 streams today, whatever, however many I can get before I have to use my phone again or listen to something else. Like there's so many different ways to do that, you know. So it's not always about money. Sometimes it's about carrying the message and sharing and like getting out of that consciousness of like wanting to be the only one that knows about some really cool artists. Because I meet a lot of people like that too, where they're like, they kind of like want to keep you to themselves. You're like their secret thing that they found. You know, I meet a lot of DJs like that are like, oh yeah, I find all of these cool, dope composers and producers from all over the world, and I play them in my sets. And I'm like, well, do you share the set list? And then they're like, so I'm like, so you're getting famous and making however much DJs make, it can be anything from $1,000 a show to $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 a show to play other people's music. And you're not even sharing the set list of these small independent artists that you're finding doing these very unique things that you're sharing and branding as you. That is a problem, and you're not actually supporting. And the little $2-3 that you gave them on Bandcamp or Beatport or whatever, like that is not enough. So I don't know. Here I am, you know me. I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm gonna preach the gospel, whether it's comfortable for people or not. But that's the truth of the situation. And like, I just, want to take the opportunity to educate, because a lot of times it comes from a space of just not knowing how these things are actually working on the back end. And yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, Treneti.com. You can purchase A Fertile Nile. I also have a really beautiful merchandise collection that we've made with Soulful Resonance, and it is also available on the website, and you can check out all of that. Beautiful kimonos, bags, leggings, all sorts of yummy things.
Yes, support this queen. Support this queen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for just, going back to full circle integrity. Integrity and knowledge, awareness. And thank you for speaking to all that. It is really important. And and this is how, like, it's like grassroots, right? Of like, where is our dollar going, and how can we really like support each other in community and really like give our dollar, our financial energy where it matters, because it does matter. And I just appreciate you just highlighting all of that, so that all of everybody who's tuning in can know, because this is important information. And I just hope that we may really just value arts, and value the time that it takes to really create, like all the financial energy, the time, like it's a full labor of love, and it's really important now than ever that we really like support each other.
And on that tip, like just a little like closing note on that topic, a lot of people are like, they get mad when their favorite artist sells out, and it's like, well, I've been contemplating, I'm like, what if that artist felt more supported by their community? Would they have made that decision? Because if you're pouring your heart and soul into your career and the people around you aren't supporting you, and then some devil knocks at your door with a fat check, and you are probably like late on rent or whatever, like artists we be getting in some challenging places, it's not easy. You might waver in your truth because you got bills to pay and your community isn't there. So like, if we want to stop seeing our gyms sell out, like, support. And that's like for, across the spectrum of all artists. And I'm the kind of artist where it's like that, I can't take that path, that sellout path, because like I said, my body hurts. Like I'll die, I'll just like eject from my vessel if I get into some dissonant stuff. Like my body just like starts to die. So that's not a path for me. And so like, that's why I've been on this very strong mission of developing new systems to support independent artists that are doing good work, so that we can thrive and not have to do those things. Shakti, what's your favorite track on that you heard?
I mean, if I had to choose, I would say it's gotta be the ancient OG dragons. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. We got those ancient OG dragon codes, and I love how it is the first song of the album too, and it just like sets the tone, and it's just like all the layers. Like I was listening to it with my headphones too, and it's like you can really feel the different frequencies like weaving through like my brain and my body, and just like the tones that come in. And I definitely felt like my own dragon like body activate in that transmission. And it's like I love like the deep, it's like there's like a depth to it too. It's like it's potent.
And that one's out already as a single. So if y'all want to check that out, it's you can stream it in high definition through my website, or you can stream it in like kind of like regular compressed definition, like all music on the streaming platforms. That's the other thing. is like on the streaming platforms, they don't play, except for Tidal, they don't play the master. They compress it so that you're not hearing the fullness of the song unless you go
Right.
and stream it directly on the artist's site. So that's just another little nerd tip.
Okay.
But it's out, so you can
Perfect.
go and just be getting your ancient OG dragon. That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, a little taste. I love it.
Yeah. No, I definitely
Yes.
made that one for the Soul Family. That's a Soul Family anthem. I was thinking about all of my dragons when I made that
Yes.
song.
Yes, queen. Well,
Yeah.
I just invite y'all to go to Treneti's website, trineti.com, right?
Yeah.
And check out the album, pre-save,
Pre-order. Yeah.
pre-order the
And one
album.
other thing, if you want to
Yeah.
connect with me directly, I'm doing a master class, a self-mastery class on 11/22.
Okay, perfect.
1 1 2 2 2 1 in the evening, and it's based off of the medicine of the title track, A Fertile Nile. The lyric in that song is, "A fertile Nile is only possible when you're free from denial." And like I said earlier, the songs are teachers. They're like spiritual teachers that give us this healing journey. And for me, A Fertile Nile, that song has taught me about this ability to tap into wealth through health by being 100% in alignment with and full ownership over my own heart, and unhooking from all of the
Mm.
things that are not me, that are causing me to deny myself, all of the beliefs, all the expectations from society. And I just wanted to close with this because it's really important right now, because we're living in a time where people are pressuring each other, people are claiming ownership over each other's bodies and being like, if you don't make this decision, you don't love me. If you don't make this decision, you don't love your grandpa. And what your body isn't telling you, and to be a critical thinker in this time, is very much a like rare like unicorn if you actually critically think about what's going on and take a hawk's eye perspective. But there's a lot of pressure to step outside yourself right now, more than ever. And it's really important that we understand how to hold and harness what is true and how to feel our intuition, trust it, stand in it, speak it unapologetically. That is so, so, so crucial in this time. And I'm intentionally doing this workshop for free, and I'm intentionally doing it before the holidays, because I know I'm blessed. This is not my personal experience, but I know a lot of people going home for the holidays is like going to a dojo, a spiritual dojo, where you're like, you gotta, there's all sorts of pressures and expectations being placed upon you to move outside of yourself and into whatever rhythm that your family thinks you should be doing, because they think that they have some sort of ownership over you. And so yeah, we'll be going really deep into, it's an introspective, immersive 3-hour journey. Like, you're going to be harvesting a lot of gems from yourself inside of that, and get really clear for yourself, from yourself. That's really like how I teach. I'm not going to tell you anything, but I'm going to ask you very powerful questions and hold the space and guide the process of you unraveling what is and what is not true for you, and being able to hold that, and give you some powerful vocal techniques and practices you can do to really like anchor that solar plexus. And like, sometimes holding the truth can be uncomfortable. It can create
Mm.
friction, and we got to be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable in the uncomfort.
Yes,
Yeah.
you hold such a potent space for that alchemy.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for embodying your truth so fully with such deep integrity. I honor you so fully, Sister Trineti, and I'm excited for this amazing birthing of your offerings with your workshop and the A Fertile Nile album. And I'm just so happy that we got to come together and share about all of these things here today. Just yeah, for anybody who's tuning in, you made it all the way through. Just type in the chat like what really resonated with you with all of these powerful things that we dove into today. We'd love to just hear from you and yeah, what's resonating and what's landing. So Yeah, thank you,
Absolutely.
sister.
Thank
Love you so
you. I
much.
love you too. So, so,
And
so much. Until next
yeah,
time. Also,
yes,
type in the chat if you want to see Treneti and Mayumi cut a record.
right,
Throw some
yes,
love if you want to see that. If you want to see
yes.
that happen.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. All right. Much love, fam.
Peace, love.
Yeah.
Mwah.